Alright, so Bungie dropped this article today, which was insane. It actually shows us what's to come with these new prismatic deep dives. Deep dive into the abilities and stuff for the new supers, which isn't really new subclass. It's an old subclass, but yeah. Um, so we get to see for the hunter as it looks. Add a whole bunch of abilities and stuff. I'm not gonna read through the whole thing because it's not really necessary. I feel like it pretty shows. I'm not sure what these two things are. I know one of them is the super grenade that you get, where it's the two grenades fused into one. But I don't know what the second thing is. And they don't say. They do say you get a damage bonus when you go into Transcendence. Some sort of damage bonus increase. So I assume that's probably one of these. Um, I do hope that Bungie eventually will add more, either more supers, more abilities, more fragments, more aspects as well as more stuff to the Transcendence ability itself further through this year. I hope they don't just drop this and ignore it for the rest of the year. Like, I hope they actually do more of it. And I hope it's more aspects as well as other things. And stuff to go more into the Transcendence part, more into the ability itself. I really hope this. But we get a quick look at it. They show us all the supers available for this thing. We've got Storm's Edge, which is the new arc super for Hunter. We've got Golden Gun Marksman. Personally, I think it's kind of pointless on this because it's more useful on the Solar subclass itself because it's got a lot more stuff you can combine together. But we'll see. We don't know the fragments fully yet, so we'll see. Silence the Squall, really don't like that super. It needs some work, in my opinion. Silk Strike, I do like, but sadly we don't get the double grapple grenades, so it's kind of pointless because that kind of made it really good. But whatever. And then Shadow Shot, which is Deadfall, I believe, is the single shot one. Might be the triple one, I don't remember. Haven't used it in a while. If it's a single shot one, cool. If it's not, kind of shit. We get the Marksman dodge, the Gambler's dodge, and we get the Acrobat's dodge, which is awesome. I apologize, my voice sounds a bit weird. My allergies are going to shit again. Fuck my life, I know. Movement, we get high jump, strafe jump, triple jump, and blink, which I am actually excited about because now you can do maybe blink and backrest if it works. I don't know. I assume backrest would probably work, but you probably have to have silence and squall equipped. That's my best guess, since that way it'll register you're on stasis and it'll allow for the dodge to slow if you use the slow thing as well. Or you might just have to use the slow thing. I don't know. We'll see. But if you can blink and backrest at the same time, that's always been my dream. So I really hope that's possible. We'll see when it comes out. Melees, we got combination blow, which is a good melee. If I remember correctly, it's the one that increases your damage after every kill and you dodge and stuff. But the dodge ain't gonna really have it because you don't have that thing. So I don't really know how this is gonna work yet on it. I'm not really sure yet. We'll see. We'll see. Knife trick. That is the quick knife, I believe. I don't think that's the high damage one. I think that's the quick one, which is shit. If it is, this is the high one. Cool. Withering blade is kind of useless, but kind of good at the same time. It really just depends on the situation. Sometimes it works great in PvP and PvE, and sometimes it just likes to miss half the shit in PvP. Just weird. Threaded Spike, which is a good melee. I do enjoy it. Sometimes, again, its tracking is a little off too, and it likes to track teammates for some reason, which is annoying. We got Snare Bomb, which is also really good. So yeah, we got Arc Bolt Grenade for grenade abilities, which is it's debatable. Some people say it's good, some people say it's shit. PvE, I think it's shit. PvP could be good if used correctly, but it's mostly shit in my opinion. Swarm Grenade, yeah, shit. I don't like this grenade, period. It doesn't do shit. You can survive this when you're one-tapping Crucible if you run through them all, because you can just run away from them. In PvE, maybe you can make it work, but I feel like there's 1,000 better grenades, so it's pointless. Does feel grenade, useful grenade. Wish we had Shatter Dive ones, but whatever. We get the Grapple Melee, but it's cool, but again, we only get one, so it's basically everything else, which kind of sucks. I love Grapple Melee, but if it's only one, kind of dumb. Magnetic Grenade, the most useless grenade in the game, other than on Warlock, because you get Handhold Supernova if you run the one aspect. So yeah. The aspects we get, which, again, these are kind of depressing, but we get Ascension, which is the new arc one for the Hunter, which is kind of shit in my opinion. But we'll see. Maybe the damage is decent. It really just depends on what the damage numbers are. If the damage numbers are okay, then I stand corrected. But I don't really think they will be. I think it's going to be pretty shit. Gunpowder Gamble. This is a gimmick. This is a gimmick thing. I'm sorry. I don't know anyone that uses this other than people that are just using it as a gimmick. Just because it's funny or they're just being dumb. But whenever it's serious content, it's a waste of time to try to throw it and then shoot it and time it and stuff. It's just waste time when you could be doing damage or ad clearing. So it's a pointless thing. It's mostly gimmick. Yeah, I know there's probably some stuff out there that shows it's insane and stuff. Good for them, but as a whole, it's a gimmick, so I wouldn't recommend it. We got Winter Shroud, which is the slow, which is actually kind of cool. We got that. That's when you dodge, you slow enemies. We got Threaded Spectre, which is the one where you drop the little decoy when you dodge as well, which is cool. And then we got Stylish Executioner, which is when you get the melee kill of anything. Well, it's weakened. It makes you invis. It gives you true sight for a couple seconds. But now it says it'll just work where you kill anything with any of the debuffs, slow or freeze or anything. It will give you it instantly as well, which is kind of cool. Something Purple pointed out, which I didn't see right away, didn't think about, but he's right about. If you use Winter Shroud and Threaded Spectre together, not only do you slow them when you dodge away, you also leave a bomb behind, which is the Threaded Spectre. That's kind of broken, because they can't move when they're slowed. They literally can't run away. Where usually if somebody apes you and you dodge, they can actually get away from it somewhat. And the Threadlings can't kill them or hurt them, but now they literally can't get away. It's going to blow up on them and either kill them or make them extremely weak, which then comes a snare bomb. You could throw a snare bomb. You dodge away, throw a snare bomb, boom. They get fucked up. This combo is insane. Purple called it first. Purple gets credit here. The other thing is, if Backrus does work with this, whether you have to silence and squall or not, if Backrus works with this, then you'll be able to literally leave a bomb behind, slow them, and run away all in the same moment, really far away, and throw a snare bomb on them, or shoot them, or whatever, and there's nothing they'll be able to do about it. That's insane. That is beyond insane. That is actually cracked. Other than that, the rest of these kind of suck. I'm not gonna lie. Hunter really got shit on here for stuff. They didn't get shit for good, in my opinion. Alright, we're on to the Titan now. I see the same thing. We've got the same... This symbol's with all of them. This one, and then this one's are different, which I assume is the nades. I don't know what these are. So, each one has... I assume that's the weapon damage increase one. See, that's Arc and Strand, it looks like. So that's the Jolt nade. This one is Fire and Ice, so makes sense for the Trip Mine thing. And the Warlock one is... whatever, so yeah, it's kind of cool. I assume that's some sort of weapon damage because that's what they were talking about, but we'll see. On to the Titan, though, we've got Twilight Arsenal, which is the new Titan Super, which, again, we don't know what it's like yet. We know it looked like shit in the original showcase of it, but maybe they'll make it better, which hopefully they did. Thunder Crash instantly gets a damage super. It's not as good as the Burning Maul with the gauntlets, but it's still really good. So, yeah, kind of just off the bat. Little bit upset about that they get something for damage right away, but you know, whatever. Blade Fury, again, something really good for ad clearing and damage, so yeah, kind of cracked there too. Hammer of Soul, which is okay for ad clearing, but honestly, Hammer of Soul ain't that good right now. They maybe make it better, they might buff it with this, I don't know, we'll see. Glacier Quake is really good for damage and ad clearing. If you use a glaive, the Titan glaive, the Void glaive, the exotic, you actually create a bubble. If you pop this super in that bubble and there's a boss, like a piece of the boss in that bubble with it, your damage all hits the boss and you do a ton of damage. It's actually cracked. We use it for the Revelry every year, or Solstice, or whatever it's called. It is absolutely cracked and hilariously fun. So, yeah. Recommend that. The class abilities, they're getting Towering Barricade, of course, Rally Barricade, of course, and Thruster, which is cool, you know, they're just putting it on there because it's a little extra. And, of course, the 3 different jumps, like normal. Melee abilities, they get Shield Throw, which is a useful one in PvE and PvP, technically. Not many people use it in PvP, but it is used in PvE. It's pretty good. Gives you an overshield when you hit, the more enemies you hit with it. Thunderclap, it's a good thing. In PvP, you find once in a while people use it. PvE, it's definitely can do a huge amount of damage quickly. Obviously, you gotta wait like a second and a half, but yeah, so it's not bad. Frenzied Blade is by far the best one, in my opinion. Hammer Strike is not that great for PvE. PvP, you could definitely make it useful, but PvE, maybe use Paragons maybe, but yeah. Shiver Strike is great for movement, as well as slowing and damaging and killing things, so it's actually good in everything. Grenade abilities, they get Suppressor Grenade, which is really good. Pulse Grenade, it's kind of you can use it, but it's iffy. Shackle Grenade's cracked as fuck in PvE. PvP, it's decent in, but nobody really uses it, but PvE, it's still cracked as fuck. Thermite Grenade is actually decent for PvP and PvE. Definitely for ad clearing and holding down a lane and throwing it around a corner into a doorway can fuck with people. Glacier Grenade, of course, is cracked. God tier for PvP and PvE. Great for stopping people from running through doors. Great way of shattering them instantly. It's just insane. Obviously, you don't get the slide thing on this, so you won't get it as good, but it's still good, so. The aspect's a new unbreakable thing, which is the most broken looking ability in the game and is an aspect, so it's insane. But it literally, I think they said it was using your melee or uses your class ability. I don't remember what they said for that, but yeah, literally blocks all damage and you shoot it back at them. That's just stupid. I can't wait to see how broken that is. Titans get OP shit all the time. That's okay. We understand. Knockout, basically replacing Banner of War for this. You increase your damage, heal you constantly, which will go good with Frenzied Blade, so could work really well. Dregger's Lash, which is the suspend ability on the Titan, which we got to see in the trailer. If you use Thruster, it drops like a bomb that explodes and suspends everything by the looks of it, which is really cool. So, because obviously it's class ability, so the Thruster's a class ability, so hence, when you have Thruster, it leaves behind a thing. Instead of doing a wave like the other ones, it actually leaves behind a little bomb because you're thrusting, which is kind of cool. So yeah, Consecration is good for ad clearing, but sadly, you're not going to get the damage increase that you get with the solar thing, which will increase your damage times 3, or the sunspots with it, so if you want to do either or, so it's kind of eh. Diamond Lance, very few people do use this in PvP, very few people use it in PvE, but it's actually really good for both, so it's just a situational thing. So it's kind of cool they got that. Titans are okay, they got some decent stuff. Nothing godly compared to what's about to be here, which is Warlocks. Holy shit, did they get the best shit. So the new Song of Flame is super. Let's be honest, it's probably a joke. We don't know for sure, but it's probably a joke, because it's... yeah, it's just shit. I'm sorry, it's shit. Unless they make it crack beyond belief, it's gonna be shit. Nova Bomb Cataclysm. Nova Bomb sucks, period. It's dog shit damage. Wouldn't recommend it for anyone, so yeah. Storm Trance is okay for ad clearing in PvE and decent in PvP. Winter's Wrath, OP is fucking PvP, and OP is fucking PvE if used correctly. So, yeah. It won't be as broken because you want to have it chaining constantly freeze, because they don't have that one aspect, but it's still broken. Needle Storm absolutely cracked as well. It's great for damage, for quick damage and stuff. It's better than Nova Bomb, so yeah. Obviously, class abilities, Healing Rift, Empowering Rift, and then Phoenix Dive for healing. Movement modes is the different movement plus Blink as well, which is awesome. Melee, we get Incinerator Snap, which is the best melee, in my opinion, for PvE. It's good for PvP too, but it's really close range, you know. It's more likely you're going to use that in PvE and succeed than PvP. Pog Singularity is absolutely cracked in PvP, so that's insane. Chain Lightning, whatever. Penumbral Blast, broken and everything. Arcane Needle is decent in PvE. You could use it in PvP for a good amount too. It's not the best, but it's not horrible either. It's usable, very usable. Penumbral Blast is by far the best. Grenade abilities, we get Healing Grenade. Of course, they get the best grenade. It's literally the best grenade in the game. Healing Grenade's cracked. They get Vortex Grenade, which is also a good grenade. They get Storm Grenade, which is an okay grenade. Cold Snap Grenade, which is the most cracked grenade in the game. Especially the gauntlets, because they'll still be able to use the gauntlets, so fuck. Thudling Grenades, which, again, cracked as fuck. Fucking hell. And then we have Aspects. The new Helion, which is that little turret thing that shoots. The solar turret, which is cool, but not really that cool. I mean, it's just an Arc and Void one, kind of, but different. It's like an Arc, but different. It's not an Arc Soul, but slower firing, it looked like. But burns and scorches. It could be cracked. It really just depends on how fast the projectile moves. We'll see in the official game. But why use that when you could use Feed the Void, which gives you free Devour, which they actually explained in the trailer. If you use Bleak Watcher, which is down here, if you hold your grenade and throw it to get Bleak Watcher, you actually get Devour to stack. So yeah. Ain't that kind of crazy? So you'll get Devour to keep proccing when you throw out a Bleak Watcher, and then you get kills, you get it proc, which gives you back grenade energy, which gives you another Bleak Watcher. Then, if you run the Gauntlets, a Cold Snap Grenade, you get more Bleak Watchers, like normal freeze, which is cracked as hell. Fucking hell. Lightning Surge, you can run this with Arcane Needle and get 3 Lightning Surges in PvP. Which, you know, you'll probably only get 2 of them on spawn, maybe 1. But you still have the potential for 3. You can save them up for a few rounds and just literally run and gun by the sheer means 3 times in a row. And this thing is already broken as hell because it still kills you if you're solo when it's not supposed to. And it still kills with 2. According to Bundy, it requires 3 or more. It doesn't need 3. It needs at least 2, and it can do 1 even sometimes. Even though it's not supposed to, it still does. Bungie, fix please. And now you'll be able to do 3 of them. Why is that okay, Bungie? Fucking hell. So, like I said, Blink Watcher. And then there's Weaver's Call, which I believe is the Threadlings one, right? When you put down your rift, you create a whole bunch of Threadlings, so that's awesome. That's useful for PvE as well. So, as a whole, absolute cracked Warlock is. It's got all kinds of combinations that just make it a monster in PvP and PvE. It is absolutely scary as shit. Fuck me. So, no. We also have the new grenades that they each get when you become Transcendence, I think is what it's called, which uses both light and darkness type damage. So the Hunter gets a Hellfire Spike Grenade, which throws a device charged with stasis matter and solar energy attached to surfaces or targets that then erupts into a slowing storm. After a short duration, the device ignites, creating a deadly scorching cycle. We got to see that in the trailer as well, which was absolutely crazy looking. They threw it on a guy. It was freezing and slowing. And then all of a sudden it blew up into fire and just shattered everything if it was still alive. It was crazy. And I assume it put Scorch, it should obviously put Scorch. So, we'll see. Yeah, see, it says a deadly scorching cyclone. So I wonder if it can cause ignitions. That'll be intriguing. The Titans are getting an electrified snare, which throw an explosive device energized with strand, matter, and arc energy that detonates in a supercharged suspending burst. The suspended target takes heavy damage over time and chains jolting lightning to any nearby targets. I have no clue with heavy damage what that means. Like, do they mean a new damage type thing, or like it just takes a huge amount of damage? I'm not sure. We're gonna see how that works. But it literally just suspends everything, gives them jolt, and you can just jolt everything constantly and suspend them. It's really cracked. The Warlock one gets an interesting one, but I'm not really sure how useful it'll be, because the void part of it sounds the most overpowered. Stasis doesn't even sound like it's needed, but yeah. Throw a massive void energy in stasis matter. On impact, it deploys a miniature black hole orbited by a halo of slowing ice. After a short duration, the black hole implodes, suppressing and dealing heavy damage to all nearby targets. That's crazy. It's a suppressor grenade. Extra suppressor grenade. That's not cracked at all. We also got new fragments that they show us. There's 21 of them total, they say, up here, which is crazy, because usually we only get 14 to 16, but now we're getting 21. Some of them are just remakes of the old ones from other subclasses to make it work better with the new stuff, and there's some new ones too, they said. But here we have Facet of Balance. Rapidly defeating targets with light damage grants melee energy. Rapidly defeating targets with dark damage grants grenade energy. This is actually backwards to the intrinsic perk of Into the Light Weapons, which is interesting. So if you use Into the Light Weapons, you will get light energy and dark energy with this, like, backwards, which is quite interesting. It's backwards, so you get both with it based on what you do. So it's kind of interesting. I like how that works together. We'll see how good that is. Or they just typoed this wrong and it's supposed to be the opposite. We'll see. Facet of Bravery. Defeating targets with grenades grants volatile rounds to your void weapons. Defeating targets with powered melee final blows grants unraveling rounds to your strand weapons. So you get volatile rounds for free, and you get strand unraveling rounds for free, basically, in PvE. PvP can make it work too, but in PvE will mostly be useful for. That's kind of cool. You can get both of them charged constantly. Definitely could make a build with like Recluse and the grenade launcher from Iron Banner. Explosions create constant fucking unraveling, and then the volatile rounds for the Recluse. It definitely has some crazy builds here, potentially. We'll see. Powered melee hits against targets makes you radiant. Powered melee final blows make both you and nearby allies radiant, so they just increased what it does, which is kind of cool. It gives it to everyone if you get a kill, so that's okay. Finishers create a detonation that either jolts, scorches, slows, severs, or makes targets volatile based on the damage type of your equipped super, which is insane. So yeah, I feel like it should have been unraveling instead of severs, in my opinion, because severs just makes it where they don't do as much damage. I feel like it should have been, well, yeah, unraveling to make a ton of little nanites, but whatever. Faucet of Dominance. Your Void Grenades weaken and Arc Grenades jolt targets. So they just combine the weaken and Arc and the jolt for both of them. So yeah. Defeating targets while Transcendent creates orbs of power for your allies. That's kind of cool, I guess. Free extra orbs. Can't say no to that. Damaging targets with kinetic weapons grant you bonus Transcendence energy. Defeating targets with your super grants you and nearby allies bonus transcendence energy. So that's kind of cool. Good way to get into proc constantly a lot quicker, I guess. While you have an elemental buff, your class ability regenerates more quickly. That's kind of cool. Good way of getting your dodge or your shield or whatever back quicker or your whatever. So that's kind of cool. While transcendent, your ability final blows explode, which is cool. Since you can get them so quick, because when you become transcendent, you get your abilities back a lot quicker, so that's kind of cool. While surrounded by enemies, you are more resistant to incoming damage. We already have that, and they just made it better. They also give it a starting one, which is nice, so it'll be a little bit easier to use, and be able to be better in the sandbox for the beginning part of Into the Light. Picking up an Orb of Power grants either Amplified Restoration, Frost Armor, Woven Mail, or Overshield based on the damage type of your equipped super. Picking up an Orb of Power gives you an Overshield. Is cracked for Void. What the fuck? And then Amplified Restoration, Frost Armor, Woven Mail as well. Like, dude, that's insane. Any of those is just insane. That's crazy. And the last one we have, this increased the size and damage of the burst when you shatter a stasis crystal. And then, or frozen target, increases the size of solar ignition. I feel like it should be also increase the damage of solar ignitions. Not just the size, in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. But yeah. So these are pretty crazy. At the same time, I do wish they put for the Warlock, they would have given us the Warlock dodge, air dodge, you know, they could have made it better. I feel like that would have been really nice to have, because that's really useful for PvP and PvE. I feel like Titans could have gotten, the whatever it's called, the stupid thing that makes you heal really quick for a strand. I forget it's called Banner of War. That would be cool. Make the builds a lot better because it increase your damage and stuff, make them a lot crazier. And then also, if the Hunters just got a lot better shit, because we really got shit in the long run. Yeah, there's a couple crazy ones, I won't lie, like Winter Shroud, Threat, and Spectre, but the rest of these are kind of shit. This is a meme. This is probably going to be shit. So, yeah. It's not really good. Kind of disappointed in that, but whatever, Bungie for you. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment what you think. Are you excited for this? I'm excited for this still. I am a little sad that we didn't get as much as I want. I would have loved suspend or double grapple at least. I could have been fine with double grapple or the suspend, but we didn't get that, and it's fine, whatever. I still would have liked that. Bungie didn't want to give it to us. I get it. It's all Gucci. But let me know what you think. Are you going to use these? What's your build you're going to make? Tell me what you're going to make into these. Let me know how crazy you want to be and how insanely broken you want to be. Y'all have a good day. We out of here. Adios. Y'all have a good day.